What is going on? Welcome to Mikerock Uncensored. We are back and we are live. We are actually live streaming to YouTube and Facebook. And it's taking me this long to get back because I've had a lot of, confusion, I guess you could say, about where I wanted to be in this next stage or whatever you want to call it of my life, because a lot of really good things have been happening to me and my family as of late, and it's kind of just caused me to have to come to rethink where I want to be, where I want to go. And for the longest time, at least while my kids were in school and everything else, it just Mikerock Uncensored was unfeasible. It wasn't something that I thought I could do full time and have fun, laugh with you guys, and still take care of my kids full time. I was gaming. I was doing a few other things. I was trying to be younger than I actually was, and I just kind of realized, at the end of the day, if we're going to start off something new, why don't we do what I want to do and what I'm actually pretty decent at, and that's having conversations with people. I have to say, what my motivation for starting this stream today wasn't on the greatest terms, but as we kind of talk about a few things, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, but I'm also not out to hurt anyone's feelings or just try to set anybody straight. The whole point of a lot of the things that I do is I like to tackle the issues. It may hurt people's feelings, and it may not make me. It may not always put me in the best light. I could be wrong about a few things, but that's kind of where I wanted this show to go. I don't want people to ever think that I'm an expert in anything. And if you can prove that I'm wrong in something, then let's have that conversation, because that's one thing that we are not doing as a people. We are not having those conversations. So we're going to work on that here. We're going to be doing live streams where I get to just spout off at the mouth, say whatever I want to say. You guys can respond. You can like what I have to say. I think I have enough years, enough experience under my belt as both a man, as a father, and actually as a podcaster, I guess you could say, where we can have these conversations openly. We can say it with clarity, get our points across, and then again, we can either agree or we can agree to disagree. We can share a few laughs. We can humiliate each other, insult each other. The one thing that I love, and maybe we should start with this, is that I am a conservative. I did vote for Trump. I voted for change. That doesn't necessarily make me MAGA. It just means that something, at least in my opinion, had to change with everything that's going on. So yes, I voted for Trump because I didn't like where we were going. I didn't like what I was seeing. I didn't like the future that I saw for my kids under the past administrations, under the Democratic Party, with all of this woke stuff going on in the world. I just didn't like it, and I didn't see it as a healthy experience moving forward for my kids. Now, because I decided to do that, I actually lost some relationships that were important to me. But I've had to come to that conclusion that at the end of the day, doing what's right is not always doing what's easy. And a lot of times when you lose friends or you lose relationships, I don't know how else to say it. Good riddance. Bye. If you can't respect my opinion the same way that I respect yours, and you feel like it's worth losing a relationship in the end as a result, then we probably weren't friends in the first place. And that really was, believe it or not, as easy as I'm going to make it seem, that really was not an easy pill for me to swallow, because I genuinely care about people. I genuinely want to see the best. I genuinely want the best for the people in my circles, and unfortunately, having your opinion doesn't seem to agree with other people. As if your opinion doesn't agree with theirs, then we now live in a society where That's not healthy. You either agree with us 100% or you're an outcast, or you can't be a part of our cult or our communist party or whatever the hell that they want to make it. And I, you know, honestly, and we're just kind of ranting because I've been drinking a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you, but honestly, I don't think I have been living my best life. I don't think that I've been living my health. I would say has been um, damaged both mentally and physically because for the longest time I have not been allowed to be who I am. I've been, tiptoeing around who I'm supposed to be and taking second place to other people's feelings and what other people want, and playing this game where I'm not as important as the people that I'm talking to or the people that are in my lives. I'm putting other people on these pedestals, and the problem with that, and I don't have a problem with that, but the problem that is resulted as because of that is that people take that for granted. People feel like they can lord themselves over you, and then soon after they're no longer apologizing for the things that they've done wrong. All of a sudden it's you that is wrong about just about everything, and not because you are, but just because it's easier for them to blame you because they know you're going to want to compromise. You're going to want to keep the peace. And that's kind of where we're at with the title of this rant that we're going on right now. And I'm done playing Mr. Nice Guy. I think thanks to Trump, and I'm going to say it out loud, yes, thanks to Trump, most of these platforms, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Facebook, they're a lot more lenient and lax on the things that we can say. A lot of us are no longer in fear of having our channels banned because we say something that disagrees with the woke left or with the Democratic Party or a few other things. I do realize that we still have to be a little sensitive with some of the things, some of the topics that we want to discuss, like what's going on with Israel, especially right now. But the game the ability to play the game has gotten better. If that makes sense. So in the future, besides this little rant, and I hope that you've just got the free time to listen to what's being said, but in the future, I promise you, one of my goals for making Mikerock Uncensored much better than it used to be is to try to be on point with the topic, with the hook, with the conversation. I want to have special guests moving forward, but I still want to keep things as natural as I was trying before. I just want to get a lot more organized about the things that we talk about and how we present the information to you, the audience. First, as calm as I'm, as mild spoken as I'm sounding right now, we get a little crazy. My voice jumps up a few octanes. You might think that I was trying to identify as a woman with some of the things that I say and how I say them. And like I said, at the end of I don't care. I'm out to have some fun. I want you guys to laugh. I want you guys to talk crap. However, we also want to keep things respectful. So this message is mainly to all you liberals and you Democrats out there. If you've got something negative to say about anything, I'm okay with the negativity. I'm just not okay with the disrespect. So if you think you're going to get your point across, as long as you have if you want to make the argument, if you want to debate a few things, then let's keep it respectful. If you want to insult someone because your point wasn't made or because you don't actually have a point, you can try, but I can promise you that you're going to be one of the first people that we ban from the stream forever, because At the end of the day, we promote healthy conversations from both sides. And like I said, I don't have the time for the people that want to yell and act like there's something that they're not, who want to try to prove that they're right, not because they're right, but because they can yell louder than me. So anyways, that's just kind of catch you guys up. So why are we here this freaking early in the morning, dude? I'm going to open up my Facebook real quick because I have to make sure that I'm sharing this information on my Facebook page. Okay, so we are live. That's good. I'm gonna like that, and then I'm gonna share it. Yes, I know it's early. Come and say hi if I don't offend you. If I don't offend you. There we go. So we shared it. All right. So first things first, maybe I shouldn't share this in this stream because again, this is more of a rant than anything else, but in fact, I won't. I'm going to share this because this what I was about to share with you guys is something that's really, really special to me, and I don't want to waste it. I don't want to waste this topic on this particular stream. I'm going to share with you right now why I was motivated at 2:30 in the morning on the West Coast, and well, in Las Vegas, Nevada, to start this stream, to get this stream going, and to have a conversation with you guys. Honestly, it's because of my situation with my daughter's mom. And this is what I mean by I'm coming in unfiltered. I'm coming in uncensored. I'm not going to insult or disrespect my daughter's mom, but she is one of the ones that I have spent the last 11 years trying to treat respectfully, trying to grow together as friends, despite our differences in just about everything, including our philosophies on politics and everything else. But, you know, I really believe that there comes a time when for your own health or your own physical and mental health, where you have to stop being the only one to try to make a relationship work. And if you guys don't know both me and my daughter's mom, I'm conservative. I've always been conservative. Even when I was a Democrat, I still held a lot of conservative values. I know that sounds strange, but back before Obama was president, you know, I felt like, I don't know, maybe honestly, I don't really have an answer for that. To be perfectly honest, I think it was simply because I was raised in a Black culture. My mom was Black. I'm Black, white, and Indian. And we were raised to believe that we were just Democrats. And so I don't remember, honestly, when I started being considered myself a Democrat. I just remembered one day I magically was. But the more I got into once I realized that politics is what governed our lives, is what governs our lives and the decisions we are able to make as regular people, regular human beings in our country, the more I got involved with politics. And the more I got involved with politics, the more interested I became in what decisions affected what. And I just, like I said, here we are years later, and there's no part of me, not a single fiber in my bone, because of my own research and because of my own processes that have helped me to make decisions that will allow me to be a liberal or a Democrat. I think it is simply just ridiculous. You don't have to respond if you're a Democrat or a liberal listening to this, or you can. I don't care. The thing is when it comes to common sense, stuff either adds up or it doesn't. When you do research on things, you do the math, and realistically, scientifically, factually, the same when the same information that you can apply, the same science that you can apply to one situation, you should be able to apply it to all situations. 2 plus 2, no matter where you add that up, no matter how you add that up, it's still going to be 4. That's how the math works, but that's not how the liberals and Democratic parties work. It's okay to identify as a woman if you're a man, but you can't identify as a sheep. Like where does the freedom? And I know it sounds like a ridiculous argument, but it really is not. How can you be a certain thing but identify as something you are not? What's probably more true is that you are a man that feels like he's a woman, or you're a trans man, and that's what you are. You're not a woman. You're a man who feels like he's a woman. And I think if we got on that page, number one, we would come to much healthier solutions as a people. But number two, people would be able to respect the reality in your mental processing just a little bit more. And the fact that you can't do something like that, and not only can you not do something like that, you want to push those same beliefs off on our kids. That's where people start to step in. You don't mess with a grown man's kid. You don't mess with a dedicated mother's kid. You just don't do it. And honestly, I think I'm going to get back to my point. I'm going to get back to my point with the ex, and honestly, with the kids, I really believe that the reason why a lot of, I know this is going to sound really far-fetched, but I really believe that the reason why the left and the Democratic Party is okay with making kids that negatively impact our kids is because a lot of these agendas and cultures that they've created do not support the existence of kids. And you can get mad at me for saying that, but the LGBTQ community, I mean, when you're talking about same-sex marriage, I respect it all and everything else, but same-sex can't have kids. They can adopt, but they can't reproduce. And then you've got these things with abortion and everything else. They can't reproduce. And I don't know. I'm not going to sit up and act like I know whether that's by design or whether that's a part of this larger conspiracy theory to control the overpopulation of what's going on. I don't know. I don't know why it's happening, but I do believe that the reason why they don't care so much about what's happening to our kids is because they can't have any. Sucks. Yeah, I mean, you can, and I could be wrong. I don't have any factual information to back that up. I'm no biology, science, whatever, scientist that has the data to back that up. But that's what it feels like, period. So anyways, back to my situation with my daughter's mom. She's been liberal about almost about the time that we got divorced. She went from being who she was when we were married to being so super feminist and super liberal and super gay and all of these other things. And no, I don't agree with a lot of the things that she does. I really don't agree with feminists. I just don't. I don't agree with feminists trying to prove that either they are better than men or that men are always toxic, because the truth of the matter is that when it comes down to it, a lot of them, to me, have a problem with men having power, because they're not just trying to eliminate the power that men have. They're trying to replace it with their own. And it's okay to empower yourself in your own life. It's not okay to trample on other people's beliefs and other ways that they live lives. It's not okay to tell women who are happy with traditional style marriages that, oh, you should be more manly, or you shouldn't be working at home when they're completely happy with that. You shouldn't be doing things like that. But anyways, she and I have, like, almost as soon as we got divorced, she and I ended up on opposite ends of the spectrum. And, I'm not extreme conservative, but I am conservative. She's about extreme liberal as you can be. And the only problem with all of that is that we share a daughter. She's beautiful. She's a beautiful little girl. She is very considerate. And I just, me personally, and I'm sure, and her mother does too, we just love her to death. So, you know, where we probably wouldn't be friends at all if we didn't have our daughter, we do. And so we have to figure out a way to manage the playing field, to allow her to grow up, to be herself, and hopefully not try to groom her with any one side. And it's a hard battle, because you naturally want to say things are a certain way based on how you're raised or based on what you believe, but then you've got to be you got to be sensitive to the other person, the other parent's beliefs, so that you're not, you know, creating some disharmony in that complete relationship. I don't know if I'm making sense. I need to have another drink. Hold on just a second. Feel free to chime in anytime you guys want. I'm sorry I'm ranting, but I got to get this off my chest. So, me conservative, her liberal, her. I've always had disagreements, but the problem is that I've been the only one controlling myself until recently. I've been the only one. She'll spout off at the mouth at how much she hates Trump. She takes, you know, she feels free to take my daughter to gay pride parades and drag queen shows, and you know, if that's for you, that's one thing, but it's not for me. And I do, you know, I'm not going to go into details, but at the end of the day, I do see a problem with it. And if you don't, then that's on you. But that's your daughter's. My daughter is not your daughter. My daughter just happens to be another liberal's daughter as well. So, but anyways, so you fast forward to everything that's going on right now. Trump is president. Conservatives are winning, but I don't rub things in people's faces. I like where we're going right now. I think there's a lot of positive things happening in the world, in the world right now, in this country right now. There's some bad things too, but there's some good things going on. But I don't go around rubbing in people's faces. However, my daughter's mom doesn't respect the same boundaries. So this whole thing with the deportation thing and stuff that's going on, it's unfortunate, but she has family members who are not legal, and if caught, they probably could get deported after everything that's going on. And I've left it alone. You know, my thing is, I agree that the border needs to be closed. I believe that we need more control in what's going on in this country regarding illegal immigrants. But I also believe that we are, as a country, are responsible for why it's so messed up the way that it is right now. If it were up to me, and it's not, I would, because of the mistakes that we made as a country, I would actually be open to allowing the people who made it here because they had expired visas or whatever the case may be, give them an opportunity to earn their citizenship while still living here in the country, because that's a mistake that we made. But also at the same time, close the borders. I'm not saying that that I'm right, but that's how I feel, and my daughter's mom knows that as well. But because of all this traumatic stuff going on with her and her family, she's going on these protests, these personal protests, and doing them in places that to me, it's just disrespectful. I'm at my son's graduation. We are at my son's high school graduation, and they play the national anthem, and she chooses not to stand up for the national anthem. And then I'm looking over, and my daughter, she was basically, my daughter, it looked like my daughter didn't want to stand up for the national anthem as well. So me and my other son, Mikey, had my daughter stand up. And I just thought it was disrespectful. You're at a kids event. A kids event to me is not a place to make a political statement. On top of that, and because of that, I'm going, you're not just going to make a political statement in front of somebody who doesn't agree with you and not expect them to respond accordingly. That's not okay. And I said that was not okay. Not there. Like I said, it was a kids event. I let it go then, but I did say something later. And I'm like, it's just funny because, despite the deportation issue and everything else, the wonderful thing about this country is if you don't like the decisions that are being made, you are more than welcome to leave. And right now they're handing out free tickets. They'll give you a free ride to almost anywhere you want to go, just to get up out of this country and protect this country a little bit better. Now, I know that kind of defeats the purpose of keeping things respectful, but the point is that these liberals now want to blame every single person who voted for Donald Trump for why their families might get deported at some point. Here's the reality that you may not want to accept. I don't care if you want to accept it or not. Here's the reality. It doesn't matter if you're an American citizen or an illegal immigrant. If you break the law, there are consequences for your actions. If I break the law, I am going to jail or I am going to prison, and I am going to be separated from my family as a result. It was my choice to break the law. Hopefully I don't get caught for the law that I broke, but at the end of the day, no matter how mad I get, I was the one who broke the law. I am the one, if caught, that has to suffer the consequences. You may not like it, but that's how the justice system is supposed to work. Every other country on this planet has illegal immigrant policies. And very few of them are going to allow you to come in as a U.S. citizen and allow you to become to automatically become a citizen of that country. In fact, they don't like us. Most of them don't even like us. And if you go to a hostile country, you probably aren't coming back alive. Just throwing that out there. So anyways, Lee, what's in my eye, bro? Maybe I'm dirty. Maybe I need a shower. Anyways, so it's not that I don't understand what people are going through. I do. I don't care what side of the fence you're on. I don't like seeing bad things happening to good people. I don't like it. But at the end of the day, the law is still the law. And when you try to make political statements in front of my kids that you don't need to be making, knowing that I disagree, you can't get mad when I offer a rebuttal to whatever the hell it is you're deciding to do. And that's exactly what happened. There was some offense taken. Then all of a sudden the next day, I get a screenshot, and this one pissed me off. And this is why I am no longer, this is what, like, I sent me over the edge because of that. And I'll explain that in a second. Let's just get back to the time. I told you I'm trying. But I received a screenshot the next morning. And the screenshot was, and I wish, let me see if I can pull this up so you guys can see this for yourself. The screenshot in a nutshell was it was a note on the Instagram note that my son put, and it was the song Ice Ice Baby. Now, her argument was he deliberately put up that song in response to everything that was going on with the deportations. The screenshot that she sent me, if you guys look at this screenshot, what do you see in the background? You see comments like F ICE and all this stuff that is deportation related. So naturally, I look at this and I'm thinking that my son somehow put this note as a comment or a response to some things that were going on. So yes, I too, as a result, believe that this note was purposely made to make fun of of people who were being deported. Now, whether I agree with deportation or not, I didn't raise my kids to be disrespectful. So I confronted my son about the whole thing. I told him to take the note down, and I told him it was disrespectful. My son was hurt. He actually, and I hope it's okay if I say this, but he actually cried because I didn't give him a chance to defend himself. And when he finally had a chance to defend himself, he said, "Dad, you know me. I put up, I'll tell you if I did something wrong. I'll tell you if I was, intentionally making fun of someone and why. But I love old school music. I post notes every day on a new song that I'm listening to. And it just so happened that I posted a song with Vanilla Ice on Ice because I like the song. There was nothing attached to it. I didn't make a comment on anybody else's Instagram profile. I simply posted the note. And I went back and I checked and I looked at, I investigated it, and come to find that he's absolutely right. He didn't make a comment anywhere. He took the note down because I told him to, but he only posted it as a song that was available in the music track because he enjoyed the song. Now, I'm not saying, when you're hurt by this whole deportation thing, I can see how you would look at this situation and assume that you intentionally played that song on the day that these deportation situations were happening and caused the whole LA riots thing. I can see it. But this is a person she claims to be her son. She didn't call and talk to him directly to ask why he did. She just basically snitched on him, sent the message to me. And then, to make matters worse, she decides to tell me I unfollowed him so that I don't judge him in the future. That's it. I'm done. I'm done being Mr. Nice Guy. I'm not going to go off on this whole cuss rant or anything else, but honestly, who do you think you are that we care about you judging other people off of an assumption? Now, the only thing I do care about is all this time you keep claiming that, oh, I treated him like a son. I treated him better than his own mom. I'm gonna let you in on something. And I don't mean to laugh at this, but it's the truth. Everybody I know has treated my son better than his own mom. That's not saying much. I was needless to say, I was upset. And at this point, I still didn't get respectful, but I realized, I understood then that she was just like every other liberal out there. They are willing to put their politics and their agendas before their own family and friends. And I am done believing that that is okay. It's not. If you allow our government and the media to trick you into believing that what you believe, your opinions on life, are more important than the people you're supposed to love, something is absolutely 100% wrong with you. And every day that goes by, you find out more and more that the problems that the liberals have is all mental. It's straight mental. It's crazy, the things that they choose to believe and why they choose to believe them. And even when they've got evidence sitting right in front of them that shows them how wrong they are, they will make their arguments about, they will deflect and make their arguments about absolutely everything else. Everything. I sit there and I wrote a letter. Because she unfollowed my son, because she's unfollowed me, I told her, you don't have to worry about unfollowing anymore. because you're blocked. If you want to get in touch with me about my daughter, you can use a phone like in everybody else. I'm going to keep it cordial. I'm going to do what's in the best interest of my daughter. I'm not going to argue with her, but I told her that I'm done. I wrote a letter and it was heartfelt. And I did my best to speak from the heart. I tried to show her why she is so messed up with her way of thinking. And again, I'm not saying that I don't make mistakes. I'm saying in this particular instance, I pointed out why I was so bothered that after all these years, even my own daughter pointed out to her that she knew how disrespectful she had been to her dad. And that broke my heart because I didn't know that she saw all of that. But she did, and she found a way to address her mother. And only when she brought that to my daughter's attention did mom decide to admit that, yeah, maybe she's been a little mean. But after all these years, she'll do some of the most messed up things and she'll never apologize. She'll do them again and never apologize. She accused my son of basically hating on this whole deportation issue, found out she was wrong, and still didn't feel the need to apologize. Michael Fitters, what's going on, bud? So, and like I said, I sent her this 2-page letter telling her how I felt, telling her what was wrong. And I told her, you know what? You read this, I will read your response, word for every word of that response, just so that you can get that off your chest. And then after that, we don't have to speak about anything other than our daughter anymore, but I will show you that much respect. And then she decides to respond and say, I'm not interested in your opinions, so I didn't read it. And which to me was funny because then she goes on to say, all I can say is that I've treated your sons as if they were my own, and it's not my fault that you wouldn't let me be a mother to them. And I'm like, well, you obviously read the letter, because if you wouldn't have read it, because how would you know to respond about my kids like that if you didn't actually read the letter? So word games, people love to play games. I don't care. I don't. It does bother me though that I've had to cut my daughter's mom off the way that I have. But just a second. Sorry. I'm doing good, Mike, man. As you can see, I'm just ranting and I'm a little buzzed still. I know it's like 3:00 in the morning, and I got some really good news for everybody regarding both of my sons, but I'm going to share that in a different live stream or a different video because I don't want to ruin how special it is with this bull nonsense that I'm talking now. I'm trying to control my cussing. So anyways, and Mike, and I hope everything's going good with you and your family, bro. So anyways, long story short, I really, like I said, these liberals, these Democrats, dude, I'm so done. I'm done. You guys don't want to, you guys are never wrong. You're not open to real conversations, and you're willing to let go of the relationships you have if somebody doesn't 100% agree with you. And I'm done tiptoeing. I'm done allowing you to say whatever you feel that you want to say. Without and feeling like we don't have the right to share our own opinions. And at the end of the day, like, part of me, I've been really getting back into the Bible for myself, but then people make the mistake to think that I'm just all of a sudden trying to be a saint. And no, I'm just trying to get right with God, because I'm not. That means I'm going to continue to make mistakes. I'm going to continue to defend my family in the way I see fit. and you're going to mess around and find out because you think it's okay to say and do certain things to a grown ass man who is going to put you in your place. I would expect anybody to do the same for me. And I just, like I said, it's, I don't know, man. I don't know what you guys think. I'm not even talking about any one particular political issue. I'm saying it's not right. If you think it's okay to disrespect other people, and then I was called, oh my God. And then I was called the bad guy, a fake man of God or whatever, because I decided to address the issue. Still no apology to my son, but I'm the bad guy because I told you how foul you were. That's crazy. I don't know, man. And I've been dealing with this for a long time. I've been dealing with this situation for 11 years now. And it's taken me that long. That's how gullible I can be with the people I care about. It's taken me this long to realize that sometimes people don't change. However, sometimes people also do change. They just don't change for the better. And it's unfortunate because when good things happen to you, you want to bring the people you care along with you for that ride. And so you do everything in your power to make that work. And then it hurts when you realize you just can't. So that's kind of where I'm at with that right now. How long has it been? How long have I been running my mouth? Mike, you guys still playing video games, bro? I got to fix while I'm doing this and nobody else is watching, I got to kind of fix my camera hub because I look a little bright as hell right now. I really, like, I'm itching. I'm dying to share this good information. What time is it? 3 o'clock? If I'm still up talking doo-doo in about half an hour, I'm going to stop the stream and then I'm going to restart the stream and just share the good news, because on the one hand, I'm a little scared with everything that's going on in the world right now. But on the other hand, I'm excited because I mean, it's my boys, man. I'm excited. It's my boys. All right. So what do I got to do to get this thing better? Let's see. I think I'm a little too bright, right? Is that what I look like? I look like a little too bright. Let's see. Better? A little bit better. Boom. Maybe. Too much? All right. Maybe that looks good. Let me go a little bit brighter. All right. There we go. Is the white balance off? Okay. There we go. How's that look? That look good? Should I take the white balance down a little bit? Anyways, man, I'm done. I'm done apologizing about everything. I've been gone a really long time. I haven't played video games. I played video games one time in a month, and then I didn't play again for another month. And I can honestly tell you that I've never been happier in my life. Not my life. I haven't been happier in a very long time, since probably the whole COVID thing started. I finally have some direction. I finally know in which direction. I got a lot more clarity on what I want to do with my life as a result. I was able to take an amazing vacation with my kids to go help their grandmother move from San Diego to Prescott, Arizona. That was super amazing. But more importantly, I was able to finally take a mental break for at least a week from absolutely everything that's been going on. My brain shut down, my body shut down, and I was able to just, even though we still worked, it was mindless work. I didn't have to think about anything. I didn't have to stress about anything other than helping grandma to make that transition to a beautiful place too. If I get a chance, I will be moving to Prescott, Arizona. I really fell in love with that place with the 3 days that we were there. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated on what's going to go with that. I'm not done playing video games. I'm just done for right now. I really want, some of you guys have seen my church community that I've been trying to build. I think that's going to take a number of years, simply because, I'm not really trying to be anybody's pastor. I'm not, I can, I do know a lot about the Bible. I've read it 3 times. I've taken, I have my associate's degree in theology. But, I also have my struggles, my own personal struggles in my relationship with God, so, I just don't feel at least not right now, that I'm the best person equipped to run a church community. Doesn't mean I'm not going to still share videos. I loved making, if you guys haven't checked it out, you guys go to Trusted Church on YouTube, and you guys can see some of the shorts and stuff. I've only been making shorts, but you guys can see those shorts, and you can see that it's been fun for me to put those messages together. I love helping people. I love encouraging people. And when I've been working on those videos, it's made me feel really good to just talk about nothing but positive things for a change. You know, to address the negativity and just let you know that things are going to get better, and that, you know, at least for me, and I don't speak for everybody, but you know, it's always better when you can make that connection with God and build on that relationship. So I've had fun with that. But again, like I said, I know me, and I just want to be the best version and the most genuine version of who I am. And I don't want to come across as if I'm faking anything. So yeah, I haven't put it on the back burner. I still do my daily devotionals, and I still have the community that I help to grow over, and people who share my values and want to grow and do things more. But I really think that that's something that's going to take anywhere between, I don't know, 5 to 10 years to allow it to become the community that I see it. I just, like I said, I did that because part of the reason why I distanced myself from the church in the past is because I didn't like the religious side of being a Christian. And I know, I know in my heart that there's a lot of things wrong with, you know, religion as a label on our Christian values. And you know, church is not really supposed to be the establishment, and all that greed that you see happening in those establishments. It's simply meant to be the body. It's the people. We make the church, and I see nothing wrong with us creating a community. In fact, like I said, instead of running away, I just decided that it was better for me to run towards the issue. And if I didn't see the church that I wanted to belong to, then I would just create it for myself. And that's kind of the mission that we're on with the Trusted Church. The other thing, a couple of other things, and I have to, and this is why I'm saying that it's going to take me time to build other things. I love this. I want to get better at this, but until it starts to, you know, support itself financially, it's only ever going to be a hobby. I will do my best to be on here with you guys more, and we can talk trash and talk about issues, because again, especially the thing I love about Trump winning and becoming president is that we can now, a lot of us now feel more free to say what's on our mind, to speak the truth, because we have been censored from speaking those truths for way too long. And now we've gotten at least a little bit more freedom. And if YouTube doesn't want me to share my opinion, then I know I can share those opinions on Facebook, because Mark Zuckerberg has basically come out and admitted that the government was responsible for why they were censoring people in the first place. And now that Trump is in office, that he was going to remove those restrictions. And so far, from what I've seen, he has. People have been able to speak more. I've seen a lot more conservative and Republican pieces of information on Facebook than I ever have in my life. And that's a good thing, because you know, people need to see both sides of the story. I know I'm boring a lot of you guys, and I'm just going to probably finish off this can before I sign out. But I'm going to see where this goes. No more Mikerock gaming, at least for now. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not going to game every once in a while, but for the most part, the interest isn't even there. I love talking to you guys, and I want to find ways to do things that allow us to talk more, not less. I want to make it entertaining. I want to try to be the comedian that I think that I am. And we're probably going to continue to be offensive sometimes, but you don't like it, turn the channel, get out of here. Bye. What else we got going on? One of the things that I am diving into, which is why like I told you, I've gotten a lot of clarity since I don't know if you guys know, man, but I've done a lot in my life. I marry people. I've been a massage therapist. I was in the military. I fought forest fires. I mean, there's a lot. And one of my hobbies for a very long time was photography. And so while I was on this trip, I got to speak with, in fact, with everything that's been going on. Like I helped my boy Will move before I went out to San Diego, and I got to meet. And like I honestly believe that, you know, you call it what you want, but I'm going to call it what it is for me. And I really believe that the spirit can help move you, can show you signs of things that you are or aren't supposed to be doing if you're just willing to listen. And I've been listening, and I don't think it was a coincidence. I love photography. I just couldn't afford it years ago, and I still can't afford it now, but I'm going to find a way, I promise you. But I helped my boy Will move, and I got to meet the real estate agent for the house that we moved all the furniture out of, and they had a real estate photographer coming on board, and so that was kind of like my introduction to that whole thing. And then at the very same time, my mother-in-law, she was moving out of her place in San Diego, and they had to fix the place up and make it look real nice. And then they had their own real estate photographer come into town, and he took a really nice video. He did some videos, he did some photos, and I was looking at these photos and I was laughing because I've seen at least the before. I've seen all the before pictures of my mother-in-law's house. And when I was looking at those pictures, I was like, dude, how did he do that? Because those pictures look amazing compared to what I knew my mother-in-law's house used to look like. And then I got to see a video, you know, it wasn't a drone video, it was a cinematic video, and it kind of took you on this virtual tour. And I was just really taken back by the whole thing. My interest was piqued. And yes, I am still a nerd in a lot of different areas, but it was when I saw all of that, I told myself, I know I can do that. I think I want to get into real estate photography. Everything for me fits. I love photography. I have some experience with photography, but when I found out, I bought this course to teach me about real estate photography. And when I found out how they made those photos, can't give away my secrets, but when I found out how they made those photos, I was like, oh my God, I know I can do this. And I already have all the software and the programs and stuff that I need to make my photos look the way that these real estate photographers do. And so that's my next step. I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing with Amazon. I might even look for a part-time job somewhere close or whatever, but I want to, on top of continuing to marry people in my spare time, I want to build a real estate photography business, and I'm excited about it. Because, you know, it's part photography, it's part graphic design, it's part having your own, it's part digital marketing, it's part building your own website. And those are things that I said, I have all the skills. It's also part networking. And I already know a number of real estate agents between here and San Diego. And so I'm kind of hoping that I can network and say, hey, you know, let me come in and get the experience, and I'll do these things for free so that I can build my portfolio. And eventually, I don't think it's going to take me long at all, because I said, I know the system, and I don't think it's going to take me long at all to become at least proficient enough to start making money. I can work with people who are selling their homes, or homeowners. I can work with them at a reduced fee. If I'm trying to get in with a real estate agency, I can basically do a couple for free so that they can see what I can do or see how I grow, whatever. But eventually I know I'm going to get in there. So I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. I have to get my camera set up together. It's not, I can't use a little, the only problem with that is I can't use a standard, a beginner's digital SLR, because there's a couple of features that I have to have that aren't in the beginner level of digital SLRs. But I found some used ones that are reasonably priced, and I'm just waiting for the right opportunity. Anyways, I am not going to be on here much longer. I do want to say happy Father's Day. I will say this again in my next video, which will be later today, when I'm talking about my sons and the very something special that has happened for the both of them. So we'll say it again then, but I know Father's Day is right around the corner. To all you fathers, whether you're a single father, whether you're married with kids, whether you know, the only father I refuse to celebrate are the deadbeats. If you are not in your kid's life because for not of your own effort, of course, I'm still going to celebrate you as a father. But if you've just chosen to give up on your kids and everything else, I've got no respect whatsoever. I've spent the last 19 years taking care of mine on and off by myself, mostly by myself. I've had a lot of help from people in my family, even some of my friends, but I can't imagine when my first son was born, I can't imagine my life without them. And so it's really hard for me to see why anybody would even have a kid, whether it was on purpose or by mistake, and not want to be in that kid's life. You know, unfortunately, bad things happen, and or unfortunate things happen that prevent people from being able to do that. But I just want to say happy Father's Day to all you grown ass men who are doing what you're supposed to do. Yeah, you know, I hope you guys enjoy your day. In fact, I hope you enjoy the entire weekend. You guys don't get enough credit for all the hard work you put in and the things that you do. But for someone who just had two kids now who are officially graduated, I got one more to go, and I'll be able to, hopefully by then, I'll be ready to live the second half of my life still with them, but not as a full-time parent. I'm looking forward to, like I said, I wake up now blessed with every single day in front of me, and I'm blessed looking forward to the days ahead of me. And I hope that the rest of you guys are too. Anyways, I'm out of here. Much love. I'm glad to be back. This is our first live stream in I don't know how long, but you guys can catch me on YouTube mainly. We are going to also stream here on Facebook under for Mikerock Uncensored. So if you're not following one, I do hope that you'll follow the other. You guys, whoever's watching right now, man, you guys, I hope you've enjoyed my little rant. This is not an organized video. I got on because I was upset with something that happened. I realized that I have to cut these people off no matter who they are, and I needed to get it off my chest because I don't have a lot of people in my circle that I can talk to. Yeah, I know that's pathetic, but it is what it is, right? You guys have a great rest of your day. If you're just getting your day started, man, be safe out there, and I'll talk to you guys again soon, man. Peace.